Welcome back to Do It Myself Garage. As you can see, I did manage to get the torque converter bolted up into place. I still haven't messed with the exhaust yet, but that's one of the projects today. Right now, what I've been concentrating on is adding fluids. So I've got some brake fluid I added there. It's going to start bleeding the brakes. I've got the funnel in the transmission. I already added a couple quarts that I had. And I just opened up the radiator and we're going to add some coolant. So the end goal here is to get all the way to the point where I've added the engine oil, have it primed, and then maybe, just maybe, we could fire it up. I don't think I'll get to that this weekend because I have to finish some electrical. But at least let's get all the fluids in this thing, get her set back on the ground, and we'll see how far we can get. Never know. All right. So personally, I've always used Prestone. I know there's other brands out there, but I've always been a Prestone person. Let's get this in here. Let me go get a little bit larger funnel real quick. The stuff I have in these jugs is pre-mixed. I always buy the concentrate and then mix it 50-50. I double checked the petcock and made sure that I had that thing closed. I added the brake fluid yesterday. I was just messing around out here seeing if I had had enough of everything. And so I added brake fluid, and it started leaking out of the top line on the distribution block. Apparently I never tightened that line. Tightened the rest of them, but I hadn't tightened that one. Now these were both not full. And obviously the engine has none in it. Alright, so gonna mix some more up. I'm just gonna go ahead and show that. It's not a real big deal, but some people, maybe you've never mixed antifreeze before and you want to know how it's done. Alright, so I've got these two brand new bottles right here. And like I say, I always buy the concentrate. So to give you an example, the concentrate was $12 and the premixed is $10. You're like, oh, premixed is cheaper. Yeah, you're getting half as much. And the other half of the premix is literally water. Now, if you're on a well that has a lot of high iron, you're going to want to use distilled water. I'm on city water, which is actually filtered for drinking and everything. So it's just fine to use. You do not have to use distilled. But you don't also want to use, like I say, a real heavy water like would come out of a well that it's going to have a lot of iron and stuff in it. Because even though this has rust protectants and everything in it, you don't want to add that to your antifreeze. All right, so basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour half into each one of these buckets and use a funnel. Antifreeze will kill pets. So you don't want to mess around with this. So, avoid spilling. If you do spill, clean it up. But it will kill your pets. It shuts down their liver. So what I'm doing is these other two containers were empty, and I'm going to fill these up halfway. Half in one and half in the other. You can shine light on them. Some of them have a little bit better viewing on the side. These, for some reason, do not. And right at the third line, Doesn't have to be exact, just get it close. Now I'm going to do the same thing with these other two. Now, I wouldn't have had to mix all of these up. I mean, I bought 2 gallons, so that makes 4 gallons. but I have 4 vehicles here at the house, so it's always nice to have antifreeze already pre-mixed up so someone's not tempted to go out and buy the pre-mixed stuff. It's definitely a waste of money, and this is something you can easily do at home. Just fill these up and they're ready to go. The only other thing is you want to make sure on the inside of the bottle you get all this foil out of here. You don't want that going into your system. Well, I can see it coming up the radiator. It's about halfway up now. And as I get higher up in the radiator, it's going to start draining back into the engine. Okay, I'm just going to put the cap on the radiator just so I don't lose where it's at. No reason not to put that on there. Even if you've got one of these empty, keep it. That's how you mix your next one. So that was about 3.5 gallons so far of antifreeze, because I had about a half gallon left that I poured in number 4, plus the 3 of the brand new mix I just poured in there now. And obviously that's filling up all the lines and hoses. It hasn't even filled the top hose here yet, because that thermostat, I haven't got it high enough to run out that one. But it's got to fill up the block. It probably filled these lines a little bit here for the heater core. And obviously this radiator is a really pretty decent capacity radiator. So yeah, there's quite a bit to fill up. Just going to show you real quick. I've got the transmission shows full, but remember, most automatic transmissions, you don't go by the level unless the car is running and in drive. So basically you set the emergency brake or have someone check it while you're holding the car, keeping the car from moving, but you need to have it in drive, you need to have the transmission engaged. But that's actually a good start for right now, that I have it filled up, that the pan is full. Obviously the valve body, none of that has oil in it yet. So as soon as I start it up, it'll have to pump all that full, the pump, everything inside. I did pour a couple of quarts into the torque converter before I mounted it in there. So we should be good. I'm sure I'm still going to be a couple quarts low, but that's a good place to start. All right, as you can see, I've got the some fluid in the brakes. I just let it drain. I don't know if I want to say drain. Just kind of gravity bleed overnight. So I'm going to top both of these off again, or close to top. Not worried about the front so much as I am the back. Back is going to be the hardest one to do. Has the longest lines. And what you want to do is start at the back, crack it open, have someone press the brakes until it starts shooting out and you get all the air out of there. I'm going to have my grandson come out and press on the brakes slowly for me and see if we can't get these bled. I'm sure you can't see it, but I snuck the oil filter down in there. It's a Wix filter. It's black as the ace of spades, so really can't see it. Hand tight, boys and girls. I mean, yeah, pretty tight with the hand with a good gripping glove on, but don't use a wrench on them. Put a little oil on the seal and you're good to go. I'm going to add this full gallon T4 15W40. I am not running a flat tapping cam, but I trust this stuff. Heavy duty diesel oil, so I definitely trust it. In case you're wondering, I have this long skinny funnel that I use for the transmission. I have it pointed down into the gallery that returns the engine back to the crank. Everything else is tightened up, so nothing should leak. So I'm just slowly adding my gallon up here. Obviously 1 gallon is 4 quarts. This engine takes at least 5 quarts if you include the oil filter. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention on the transmission, since it's an automatic, it also has a transmission cooler, which has takes up some of the capacity of the radiator, because it's actually built into the radiator on this. Modern cars usually have a separate condenser for the transmission cooler, but these older cars, the condenser is actually built into the radiator, so that way if you have a manual or an automatic car, your radiators are actually different. Of course, this oil is only going to be in here for a couple hundred miles. Now, just for fun, I'm going to check the engine oil dipstick. See if I have anything on there. And yeah, she's showing she's at the add mark. Like I said, that was just 4 quarts that I put in. It wasn't even full 4 quarts because I had actually used some of that oil for assembly. So that wasn't even a full 4 quarts. So I'm going to have to add at least another quart because, like I say, it's showing low right now. But I also haven't primed the engine, which means there's no oil up in any of the lifters, nothing like that. So probably a quart to 2 quarts yet. We're getting there. All right, had my grandson help me with the brakes. I got the front brake split. I can't get the back brakes to bleed at all. I know you're supposed to do them first. It is a dual reservoir. I don't know what's going on. I did play around, finished up the wiring on the headlights, moved the, I'll show you where I moved the solenoids to, but I have my charger hooked up right now. So I technically have power, but I thought it was safer than using the battery. Not enough current to run that, but low beam, high beam, low beam. Again, the charger only has about 6 amps, so it doesn't do the greatest, but I know I got it all hooked up right now. I don't have a draw at all when everything's turned off. So I am pretty comfortable with that right now. Let me show you where I put those relays. All right, let's disconnect this power first. So I put the relays up under there. They'll clear. The battery comes right here, right next to it. I got them marked. All right, let's try this again with a fresh battery. I've got the relays up under there. Got them marked high, low, and then headlight cover. And the headlight covers I don't have completely in there right now. Well, I had them just pressed in there. If you have them backwards, and they open when they're supposed to be off and close when they're supposed to be open. Anyhow, I've got that all tucked in there. That wiring all goes up underneath the fender well now, so I don't have this whole mess of garbage that I had here. I don't know what these holes are from. Someone else put them in there. I'll have to figure out a way to fill them up. I filled up a couple of them with solder. I tried that little trick, but I can only get a couple of them. I don't know. I'm just not the best at body work, I guess. I can just fill them up with a putty also. That would be fine. All right, so my negative cable doesn't reach. Positive cable's plenty long if I were to have it, if it were back here. But honestly, I really don't like this being the negative and this one being the positive. I'd rather have it the other way around. It would also make my wiring look a little cleaner. So I think I'm gonna go get a different battery that the posts are the other direction. I'm just gonna measure this one, make sure I get the exact same physical size, but get one with the posts are the other direction. Obviously this is not original. I bought this battery 3 years ago, so I'll keep it, use it for other things. But in the meantime, I think I want to switch that around now that I redid my wiring. I think it'll make it a lot cleaner. All right, so I got a new battery. I just disconnected the positive cable because I don't want to say I don't trust it, but why leave it plugged in if I don't have to overnight with all the new connections, and I've got a few things that aren't hooked up yet. This is just for the hood tack, but I've got a few other things, electric choke, whatnot. stuff for the ignition hanging over there. So I'll leave the battery off for the night. I did have it on trickle charge for just a little while. If you can see here, I've got some vacuum hose. Went and picked that up. Realized I didn't have any vacuum hose for my vacuum advance. I think I'm going to call that a video for this week. We are really close to starting it up. I pretty much guarantee next week's going to be a will it start, will it run type video. I put some gas in the gas tank today. Like I say, all the electrical appears to work, but we'll see. I'd say I don't want to take any chances by leaving anything plugged in. Next video should be will it start? Will it run? Can I figure out the timing? I went and bought some vacuum hose for the vacuum advance because my car never had the vacuum advance hooked up before. I don't know why. It appears to work just fine. A lot of people are like that though. They don't bother hooking them up. I don't know why. So that's it for this week. Tune in next time for Patrick struggling to get it to run. Anyway, thanks again for following along, liking, subscribing, all the comments. Appreciate it. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.